In this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about all the new things in Durango. So when I say new things, I don't mean concerts and events. So what I mean is a new bike park is being put in, for example, and we're going to tell you everything about that new bike park. And it's not just a bike park. It's an entire park area that's going to include a bunch of different amenities that are going to be really, really cool and really put us on the map even more than we already are. We're going to show you several different new subdivisions, as well as some subdivisions that have already been there, but are making some additions to those subdivisions and have a lot more lots recently available. We're going to go into detail on those neighborhoods so you'll get a feel of those areas. So this is somewhat a neighborhood tour as well as an update type video. We're going to show you some pickleball courts. We're going to show you a new market that was put in an actual subdivision, which we really don't have a lot of those in Durango, whereas you see that in a lot bigger towns. We're going to show you a lot of the different amenities that are being put in that are close to several of these neighborhoods as well, so you get a real good feel for these neighborhoods and a lot more. So stick around, we're getting after it right now. And by the way, make sure to stick around to the end of the video because the last thing on the list is one of my favorite things I'm really excited to tell you about. By the way, make sure to leave a comment of where you guys are watching from so I can tailor these videos more to you. Let's jump into the video. All about the reason I decided to make this video, which was to tell you all about the new bike park that they're putting into Durango. It's a really incredible bike park. They've already got some downhill trails, and we're going to go line by line, tell you all of the different types of trails, the different things into the sports complex that they're going to be putting in. They're actually modeling this after many different sports complexes throughout the world, and they're taking little pieces of some of those and putting them into ours, which is really going to put us on the map as if we're not already. So let's jump into it. Alright, so let's start this video by talking about the Mesa bike park. Now keep in mind, this is not just a bike park. If you don't like to bike, if that's not your thing, there's a bunch of other updates here to tell you about, a bunch of other things that they're putting in that I'm pretty confident you will enjoy. Alright, so right behind me is the Horse Gulch parking lot. We're just a few minutes from downtown Durango. As I turn around here, right behind me is the trail that goes up to the Horse Gulch trail system. Then as I turn around right here's the Mesa connector that goes up to the new bike park. Now let's just kind of give you a brief overview and discuss what they have planned for the future. So they've got a future music and special event area. They're going to have a really nice pavilion with these stunning views because it's kind of perched up over the city. They're going to have a future city campground, a future disc golf course, future dog park, bike park, BMX track, and community base area, just kind of where you start from to go out and bike, hike, horseback ride, etc. They're going to have a future athletics and sports field complex. We're going to get into more details of all of that, but I just wanted to start by telling you they're going to have way more than just biking, hiking trails in this area. So if biking and hiking aren't your thing, the music and special events area is going to be really, really cool. They're also going to have the fairgrounds up there. So we're going to have some really cool stuff up there. By the way, as much as I love shooting these videos, I even love helping you more with your real estate needs. So if you're even thinking about moving to Durango, give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving here. I'd love to put the drone up in the air, give you a drone tour of any areas you're looking at or any properties you're looking at or considering, as well as hop on a call with you, maybe go on Google Earth and really give you a better understanding of the area. Now let's jump back into the video. I'm going to jump into my notes and kind of tell you a lot more details, and let's actually start with what they already have. So last year and the prior year, they put in a lot of work to get it going. They've got about 7 miles of new trails out there. They've got 3 directional downhill only bike flow trails. They've got 3 multi-use, multi-directional trails, and then they just did the installation of something called the Hub, which is kind of a connector for new trails. It's a really cool area, kind of a little pavilion area to hang out, talk, just kind of get a break, and a little shaded area. The completion of 6 new trails is what that was that I was just discussing. That's the Mesa connector, Meadow beginner downhill, Meadow intermediate downhill, Mesa intermediate downhill, telegraph, and Meadow knob connector. So these are pretty good. There's a pretty good intermediate as well as beginner trail already in. Then there are 3 directional downhill like I mentioned. Now they just completed something called the Hub. So the Hub is a gathering area where trails converge with naturalized boulder seating, shade structures, and a map kiosk. Now the thing I am probably the most excited about are the trails that they're going to be building for cross country. So they're going to be building a series of trails with multiple distances and loops using the turf field edges with a goal to host high-level cross-country races. So I didn't discuss the turf yet. So they're actually planning on building 12 different sports fields, and they're going to be using that turf for these cross-country trails. Then in the winter, they'll also be using that turf to make and groom cross-country ski trails and fat tire biking trails. The trails will have specific hiking, running only, as well as horseback only and biking only trails. Then there's going to be a mixed-use pathway to serve as a major pedestrian spine to connect the land from the north to the south area. They're going to have an ADA accessible paved overlook trail, and that's going to be close to the event venue and community barn. They're going to have 875-acre backcountry open space for biking, running, hiking, and horseback riding. They're going to have a running track. They're going to have a dog park that's going to be about 5 to 7 acres with turf. They'll have separate areas for small breeds and large breeds. Then they're going to have a cycling training center with flat, medium, and steep gradients. And their goal with that bike park is to kind of replicate the Valmont bike park over in Boulder. All right, then let's talk more biking. They're going to have progressive dirt jumps, pump tracks, small, medium, and large, slope style courses, drop zones, dual slalom track, low trails, cyclocross race course, short track race course, cross country, and progressive beginner trails as well. Now this kind of blew me away. They're going to have a covered BMX area. They're going to also have multi-use plaza and playground, 200 by 300 climbing and fitness field house, criterium loop, velodrome, like I mentioned earlier, 12 sports fields, a city campground, community barn, gardens, plenty of parking. They're going to have a special event venue where they actually already had a concert this year in May. Then 6,000 linear foot, 18-hole frisbee golf course. Now the next really cool addition to the city of Durango are the 6 pickleball courts here behind me. Now they're located just on the other side, on the west side of downtown Durango, and right on the other side of the Animas River. They're right on the Animas River Trail, which is right behind me there. Now these pickleball courts are open 7:30 a.m. to sunset every day, and they're $2 per hour, so you do have to book them online. And then from 7:30 to 11 a.m. you can come without a reservation as well. So these are really cool. I love the location of these. Again, right in town Durango. Really great location right on the Animas River Trail, like I mentioned. Really nice pickleball courts right here in town Durango. So if you love pickleball, definitely worth checking these out. If you also love pickleball, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to let you know of some specific subdivisions that have pickleball courts in them, as there are several throughout Durango, and then there are several other courts throughout Durango as well, and other places that you can play as well. By the way, guys, as much as we love making these videos, we even love more helping you with your real estate needs. So if you've been thinking about moving to Durango, Southwest Colorado, or even New Mexico, give us a call, text, or email. Days, nights, weekends. I've got a team of agents that I work with. We would love to help you out. I've got an awesome assistant named Jackie, as well as several other amazing assistants that I work with. We'd love to help you with all of your needs here in Durango. And then, as I'd mentioned in other videos, I'd be more than happy to give you a property tour as well as a drone tour of any neighborhoods, areas, or properties as well. That way you can get a really good perspective, especially if you're coming from out of town. Now the next update for you is about the Edgemont Meadows subdivision. So there are still 5 lots available for purchase in the Edgemont Meadows subdivision. And what I love about several of these lots is they have views like this behind me here. Now if you've seen some of my other videos on the Edgemont Meadows and just Edgemont subdivisions as a whole, there's not a lot of views. There's some little views like this from higher up, some little tiny slivers of views from through some of these pine trees, but not much. So there's still some lots available, and the lots really range in price. So they're ranging right around that 200 to 250 mark in this area. And then there are 18 lots still available in all of the Edgemont Meadows subdivisions. So 18 lots available, 5 just right here. And out of those 18, they range in price from about $190 up to about $370. And there's one lot up at $819,000, but that's over a 2-acre lot. Make sure to check out, I'm gonna put up some titles to some other videos I shot all about the Edgemont subdivisions. So make sure to check out those if you wanna learn more about this subdivision. It is a really cool subdivision. They've got some awesome trails, about 10+ miles of trails throughout. Then they've got Florida River access, a mile of private fishing, and a nice trail that goes right along there, and much more. And again, only about 8 minutes from the edge of town and 15 minutes to the middle of downtown. Now, another update for you inside the same subdivision of Edgemont Meadows. We just drove up the road a little bit, and right before you leave is the Meadow market right here behind me. Now, this market is really cool and very unique as well. So they have tapas every other Friday, then they have a Sunday brunch, then they also have a really good menu. I'm gonna look down and read a few things off their menu. Actually, first of all, I'll say that my favorite sandwich is the Reuben sandwich. A few other sandwiches they have are gonna be the Scout turkey breast, bacon, jam, white cheddar cheese on a panini bread. They've got the Sam panini with roasted peppers, roasted squash, pesto aioli, mozzarella cheese, arugula, a ham panini. They've got soup of the day. Then they also have a really good breakfast burrito. In my opinion, the best breakfast burrito in all of Durango. Really big breakfast burrito that they make fresh as well. They've also got some other like grocery items. So they've got beer, they've got wine. They serve James Ranch or sell James Ranch beef, which is the beef that my family and I buy that is up in the Animas Valley. They also have a restaurant, although I mean to say James Ranch has a restaurant serving their beef. And so the Meadow Market also serves their beef. They have a bunch of other really great local items as well. So definitely worth checking it out. Also, if you move up to this area, what's nice about it is, especially in the winter, you have access to these grocery items and this coffee spot here right in the east part of Durango, where, like I mentioned before, they get quite a bit more snow up here. So if you don't want to try to drive into town to just have some coffee or have some lunch, you've got a spot here. But there's not much else around here at all until you get all the way up to Vista or Bayfield going east from here, or until you get into town about 15 minutes away from here. So in the winter, really nice. And just in general, if you live in this area, you have something to go to visit. They've got a lot of seating here, a lot of parking, as you see behind me as well. So really awesome amenity here in the Edgemont subdivisions. All right, now we're over at Twin Buttes. The Twin Buttes subdivision is about 10 minutes from downtown Durango going west on Highway 160. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the subdivision, but let's actually talk about kind of the update for you, if you will, in that they're on filing 4 right now, and they're continuing to build new homes in this subdivision. So there's 13 lots on the market right now, just in general. As of this filming, they are 179 up to 1.59 million, but 11 of the 13 are 179,000 to 495,000. One is at 850 and one is at 1.59 million. So those are bigger lots, much different lots. And then I'm going to just go over some of the details on the next filing. So they're working on filing 4 right now, which is kind of climbing in elevation just very slightly, just kind of looking over the subdivision. And then what we'll do is I'll tell you, actually, let's just tell you a little bit more about the subdivision now. As you can see right behind me is this pond that you can actually get in, swim around, enjoy. Then on the other side of me, behind me there, are the pickleball courts. And then they've also got trails that kind of go all throughout this subdivision. And then behind the subdivision is the Twin Buttes Trail System, which is a really well-known, really popular biking/hiking trail system. It's also great for snowshoeing in the winter as well. Then some pros and cons about this subdivision. It is right off of Highway 160, but it's backed up a little bit, so you are going to hear some traffic, some road noise. And I had a client that I was talking to today about the differences of Twin Buttes to the Edgemont subdivisions, which they're close to the same distance from downtown Durango, but they're east of downtown Durango. They're a few minutes further, about 12 minutes away from downtown Durango, 12 to 14. And the Edgemont subdivisions are a little bit different in that they've got about 10 miles of trails throughout the subdivision, but they don't directly back up to mountain biking trails like we do here. And they're fairly similar in the sense that they're in the pine trees, a little bit higher elevation, but the Edgemont subdivisions are quite a bit higher elevation, about 1,000 feet higher elevation than in town Durango. Where here we're just about the same. We're climbing a little bit, but not much. And so now let's talk a little bit more about the filing for, so that you can learn more about the lots that are going to be available pretty soon. So you cannot have contracts that are longer than 180 days, but you can reserve a lot right now. It's a $10,000 deposit to reserve the lot. You cannot close on a property until utilities are on on the lot line, or you can pull a building permit from the city. Once these points of criteria are met, you can finalize funding, or they can finalize funding and transfer of deeds. Right now is anticipating that pricing for the 29 lots in filing for will have an average price point of $340,000, with a low price being just under $300,000 and the high price point being in the $400s. Final pricing has not been approved by the developer. They're targeting June 1st as the date for going live with the listings for reservation agreements. Reservations are not contracts, so keep that in mind. Very different than contracts. Deposit money will be the same as earnest money that they set for each property, which will be fully refundable. And once the developer is 180 days from completing the work, they will reach out to reservation holders to see if they want to transfer their reservation into a contract. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you're confused about that, I can get you more info on building here. I can get you more info on some great builders that I've worked with in the past as well, and just more info on Twin Buttes in general. Now, something I wanted to mention is I have shot a video all about Twin Buttes, and make sure to check that one out if you're more interested in Twin Buttes. What's really unique about it as well is it is on city utilities, and even though you are about 10 minutes outside of Durango, or you're still in city limits. So that's what's really cool about this subdivision. There aren't many subdivisions like this in the sense of kind of this community feel. They've got a farm stand, they've got a pond here, they've got pickleball courts, and it backs right up to trails. So really cool in that sense. Again, I've got a video where I go into much more depth, talk about size of homes, lot sizes, a lot more details there. We'll throw that on the screen so you can see the title of that, but that is gonna be one of my vlog tours. I shot that about a month ago. All right, the next thing I wanna do as far as an update is I want to give you a market update. So we're actually going to start in Bayfield, which is about 30 minutes east of Durango, and I'm going to tell you the median sales price in May of 2024 was $527,500. That dropped by 0.7% from last May. That was for single family homes, and then in townhomes and condos, the median sales price was $348,000 in 2023, and there was actually 0 homes sold that were townhomes or condos. There's one on the market now, so we really don't have a change in that category. And then in the Durango mountain area, which is north of downtown Durango, about 30 minutes or so, that's kind of that purgatory area as it starts climbing up in elevation. There were 6 homes sold, and their median sales price was $1.5 million. And townhomes or condos in that same area, 15 homes sold, their median sales price was $1.06 million. That was up 170% from 2023. All right, now let's talk about the rural area of Durango. So this is going to be including kind of the southern area, the areas that are getting further away from downtown Durango, but not including your mountain area, which is really getting up north. So your rural area, May 2024, median sales price $832,500. That was down 0.2%. And then for townhome condo, those were $512,500, up 10.2% for the median sales price. All right, now let's go to Durango in town. Durango in town, $875,000 for your median sales price, up 15.9% from last May. All right, then townhomes or condos in town Durango, median sales price $440,500. They were down 15.5%. All right, now let's give you some numbers for La Plata County, just the entire county. So the entire county, 113 new listings in 2024, which was down 10.3%. Median sales price $667,510, which was down 12.2% from $760 in 2023. Then if we look at percentage of list price received, 98.7%. Days on market until sale was 89 days on market. Again, I do want to caveat that with saying that there is a lot of kind of variability in the sense of if the home is really move-in ready, if the home isn't funky or overpriced, which is a really big thing here, or just in general. It's not overpriced. If it's priced right, marketed well, we are seeing homes selling still in 2-3 weeks or even less. So I really want to caveat that with saying 89 days, it just really varies. You've got some homes that are on the market for a year, some homes that are on the market for a day, and they average out. So just really want you to keep that in mind. And then when you look at townhomes and condos, the median sales price was $499, up 8.5%. So really varies from negative 12.2% down to positive 8.5. That was from last year, was 460 median sales price. So I hope that helps. Guys, like I've said before, we love shooting these YouTube videos, but we love even more helping you with your real estate needs. So if you've been thinking about moving to Durango, Southwest Colorado, give us a call, text, email. All right, so we are now in Vista, Pacifica. This is another subdivision that is an up-and-coming subdivision. There are still lots on the market for sale. I believe there's about 4 or 5 lots for sale still available. And let's tell you about a little bit about the location. So we're about 19 minutes from downtown Durango, again, using the DoubleTree Hilton Hotel as a reference point. Downtown Durango is right across the street from there. We're about 49 minutes from Purgatory Ski Resort, hour 36 from Wolf Creek, 12 minutes to the airport, 22 minutes to Durango High School, and 23 minutes from City Market, from one of the grocery stores. And then let's talk about these lots. So they range in price, not about, from $215,000 to $285,000, and they're a little bit bigger lots. This is why I really like this area. Let's tell you a little bit about the lots. So the lots that are still available range in size from 4.49 acres to 6.88 acres. As far as pros and cons go, so the negative is going to be flat. I mean, in my opinion, being flatter is definitely a positive, but flat with no trees. So you're gonna have to spend, or want to spend, a little bit of money to bring in some trees, get a little bit of shade around your home. There really are 0 trees here, but the positives are over my shoulder, you're gonna have the La Plata. Let me turn around here. Over my shoulder, you're gonna have the La Plata Mountains. So you've got some pretty nice views here. They're not necessarily these big, huge, grand, breathtaking views, but you have some views kind of all around you of mountain. You're further south from town, so you're gonna get less snow than most parts of Durango. And your elevation's 6594, whereas you're 6512 right in town Durango. So slightly higher, but not much. And then regarding utilities, it's gonna be well, septic, and propane. So you would have to drill your own well. Again, really, really flat land. So in my opinion, the positive here, you're getting lots that are quite a bit more affordable. I mean, these lots are comparable prices to the lots over in the Animas Valley that are quarter-acre lots. So you get, 6 to 8 acres here for the same price that you get a quarter-acre lot up in the Animas Valley. Very different living in the sense of you just don't have the same kind of views that you do in the valley and the access to the river there, but you do get a lot more for your money out here. Now, animals, you probably will see some deer, some elk, you'll see wild turkey out here. You will see a lot of animals coming through here, especially when you have more acreage out here. Then the HOA is gonna be $600 annually. It is gonna include road maintenance and snow removal. Like I mentioned, you do have some nice mountain views. Then livestock. Livestock is allowed out here. Another pro of being out this direction. Cattle, horses, sheep, swine, chickens. You can have a lot of different animals out here, so a big plus of being out here again. Now let's talk trails, running, things like that. So your closest trails are going to be in town Durango, Horse Gulch System, Animas Mountain, all of those trails, Ned Over and Bike Park, all the trails that are in town Durango. So about an 18-19 minute drive. But then you do have a lot of kind of rolling dirt roads, rolling hills with these dirt roads. So if you like to do like gravel biking or road running, if you're a distance runner, I really like the dirt roads out here for running on, if that's your thing as well. Just remind you of distance to some water. Only 9 minutes to Pastoris Reservoir, 19 minutes to the Animas River, and then 25 minutes to Lake Nighthorse, which is an awesome lake. All these lakes are really awesome, worth checking out. And if you guys are considering getting some acreage like this, let me know. I'd be more than happy to get you more info, get you HOA docs, show you the lots in particular. And of course, if there's any other lots or any other areas you want more info on, like I mentioned earlier, more than happy to get the drone in the air and show you those areas. And one of the negatives of living in this area is you've got Highway 550 right behind me. Now these lots are pretty big and you do have a pretty big buffer from 550, but you are gonna hear some traffic. Then you've got County Road 302 on the northern end of these lots. So there is gonna be a little bit of traffic. The other pro that I forgot to mention is that it is a gated subdivision. As you come in here, there is a gate here, so that does provide a little security and just sense of security. All right, now we're in a new development called Mesa Ridge. So this subdivision is just east of the Three Springs subdivision, which which is where Mercy Hospital is, and we're east of downtown Durango, kind of on your way to Bayfield, but not far from Durango. So I'm just gonna start with a few things that I really like about this subdivision personally. I really like this area in that it's a little bit flatter. You get some great views of the mountains, which are right behind me now. And I also like this because you're close to a lot of great biking trails out this way, and you're also close to Lake Pastoris, which I'll go over some of the distances to some of these things in a second. So just to tell you a little bit more specifics on this, the lot prices are ranging from $145.5 to $157, and they range in size from about 0.18 to 0.25 acre lots. And then water taps are available, so this is not going to be well and septic here, which is really nice to see out here. Elevation 6952. The HOA does include snow removal and road maintenance. It's a really small subdivision here, so there's not a lot of road here, and this is going to be an area that you're going to get about the least amount of snow anywhere in Durango, because you're south of Durango. We're still slightly higher in elevation than downtown Durango, but it's going to be very, very comparable to in-town Durango's amount of snow that they get. And then, like I mentioned, you do have views. The negative, if you will, is you are right on a somewhat busy road that's taking you down south to a lot of other subdivisions, neighborhoods, etc., taking you towards the airport. But, you know, I'm standing right here on one of the lots that's the closest to the road, and you can tell my camera really isn't picking up much traffic. So it's not like you're really hearing much. You just kind of hear that little hum, if you will. And the name of that highway is Highway 172. Then the distance from some things. So to downtown Durango, approximately 13 to 14 minutes. I'm using the Doubletree Hotel as a reference point for you. And then you're 6 minutes to the airport. So that is another benefit of being this way. You're closer to the airport and closer to the hospital. And then Durango High School, 19 minutes. City Market, about 19 minutes from here. And Purgatory Ski Resort, 44 minutes. And Wolf Creek Ski Resort, an hour 25. So you're a little bit closer to Wolf Creek if you like skiing out that way as well. Then you're fairly close to a bunch of trails within, I'd say, about 5 minutes of a bunch of different trail systems. Horse Gulch Road, Lower Half Ridge, Meadow Loop, bunch of different trails that all connect to each other. You're close to about 30 plus miles worth of trails right here. And then fishing, 6 minutes, like I mentioned, to Lake Pastoris or Pastoris Reservoir, 20 minutes to Lake Nighthorse, and then you're about 14 minutes to the Animas River, of course, depending on the access point or the spot that you're getting into the river at for starting fishing. And let's talk a little bit more about this subdivision. You know, it's been really well designed in my opinion. All these lots are pretty flat, and there's just kind of one big loop that it takes. Again, you're not backed up to anything negative. All of these homes that it backs up to are pretty good sized lots. Behind me here, there's some homes that are a little bit closer together, but still you're not close to any major noise, a lot of trees around, a lot of kind of rolling hills, but in this subdivision itself, pretty flat overall. And as always, if you'd like any more information on this subdivision, like me to show you a lot specifically that you like, let me know, and happy to get you specific documents, HOA docs, etc. on this subdivision as well. All right, now we're in the parking lot for the Spur Line Trail System, the mountain biking trail system that is just behind Three Springs. So Three Springs is east of downtown Durango by about 14 minutes. And I'm over here to give you a couple updates. So the first one is that Three Springs actually sold the school district 40 acres. And so the school district is considering building a school out here. Durango reserved the right to build a school out here. And I'm gonna look down at my notes. District and the city are negotiating to see if part of the land might be used for housing as well. So they're still deciding on if it's gonna be used for housing or a school or a combination, and just still discussing that. City has paid for the design of the road that might serve the school. So first update, school might be out here. So if you are considering a home out in this area, you might have a school a lot closer than having to drive into town. And then the other update is that there are still lots available out here in Three Springs. Although this is not a brand new subdivision, they are still building out here. There are 10 lots still available right now. They range in price from $124,000 up to $150,000, and they're fairly small lots between about 6,000 and 10,000 square foot lots out here. They are, like I mentioned a minute ago, considering building more, and it looks like they will be building more, and more lots will be coming available, so keep a lookout for that. Definitely reach out if you are considering this area, and I can get out, give you a drone video, give you a video and a tour of exactly what area you're looking at specifically, get you more info on those lots. Now, right behind me is the Mercado Market here in Three Springs, kind of right in the center of Three Springs, right across from Home Slice, really good pizza spot. And kind of the update for you is they are going to be remodeling and making there be a lot more options there. There's going to be coffee, sandwiches, kind of a grab and go area for sandwiches, big or good sized coffee bar there, just a lot more options. They're also selling cream beanberry ice cream, which is our local ice cream shop here. So keep in mind that they're going to have just a lot more going on here. I also want to mention that right here, and I'm going to walk over here and kind of show you, there's a park right here kind of in the middle of the Three Springs subdivision. And throughout the month of July, they're doing concerts. And that is a continual thing every year. They're doing concerts right here. And then in Twin Buttes, a subdivision just about 10 minutes west of downtown Durango, they also do something very similar. They really have that kind of community feel, and they have a lot of concerts in their park right there as well. All right, so probably my second favorite update of this video is that the Animas River Trail is being extended about 2.6 miles. I'm super stoked for that. It's awesome news. However, we don't quite have a great update as to when they're going to do it. They were saying that sometime this year it's going to be completed or at least started. And I know it's a big undertaking because I'm gonna look down at my notes. It's gonna include public trail connection between a proposed future underpass of Highway 550 and 160 at the Sale Barn Trailhead, which is a really good biking trail system, and the developed trail at the Highway 550 160 overpass bridge structures linking central Durango to Three Springs, which is where we're at now. So there's this trail behind me here in Three Springs. There's about 1.5 miles or so of trail in Three Springs already. So once they connect that, it's gonna be close to a, let me think, about an 11-mile trail one way. And I'm really excited for that because also what that does is it gives Three Springs an access to get to town on the trail, especially if you have an e-bike. It's super easy to get to town on the Animas River Trail. So I'm hoping that they do that, start doing that soon. I did ask the city for an update and they said they would provide that to me sometime this week. So hopefully I'll be able to give you guys an update on that. Also, feel free to reach out to me if you'd like an update on this river trail system, and I can provide that as I get more information. All right, now behind me is Chapman Hill. We are in town Durango, and the next update is they're actually redoing the tow ropes that take you up to the top of Chapman Hill here. It is a 500-foot vertical climb all the way up to the top of Chapman Hill. It's a really cool area because it is a really affordable way to ski without leaving in-town Durango, ski or snowboard. They've got a bumps course, park features, and like I mentioned, they're gonna have 2 rope tows as well, or tow ropes, going up to the top. Really cool area. Then they also have snowmaking and expert grooming here. So really awesome area. Then right behind me here is the ski rink. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you're even thinking about moving to Durango, like I mentioned before, I love shooting these videos. They're so much fun, but I even love more helping you with your real estate needs. So give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. Love to help you with any of your questions. Walk through the area with a map so I can show you kind of the differences, the areas that might be perfect for you. And I'd love to just also get the drone in the air, give you a drone tour of any areas you're looking at or any properties you're looking at, as well as a video walkthrough, and just go above and beyond for you. Give me a call, text, or email. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I'll see you.